Rahul-san, I have one concern. Some of the people I have invited, they are having difficulty to see this live streaming. How can they see? They are saying they cannot connect to the server or something.
Or is it? Let me check. In the
Yeah.
meanwhile, Surji-san, you can carry on. Let me check.
Okay, thank you, Rahul San. Kindly see the technical issues. First of all,
Sure.
good morning once again, everyone. We are really glad to pursue this initiative from JESDC, initiative from Seva Foundation. As we all know, due to this COVID-19 pandemic situation, everyone is stuck due to this lockdown. Every education institute and organization get affected. Mostly our students, their school, colleges has not opened yet. Governments are yet to declare the guidelines when they are going to start reopen. So what the basic agenda we thought and we have scheduled to utilize this time for learning something new. I think this is the right time where they can invest their time rather than simply spending. They can invest their time and utilize it in an effective way, where they can learn a foreign language for their career, where by seeing the all condition where India have multi like MOU has been signed with Japan government. Even Japan is very keen to start their many organization as well as exhibition in India. So India, and from this reason they have ample opportunity to work nationally, globally, or work in Japan, where if I must say, there is a TITP program which has been run and organized by government also. The initiative has been taken from Japan as well as Indian government. It's a joint initiative. So here the basic thing our students along with their curriculum degree they must have is the learning language, the skill of knowing the language. So that is the overall our view and perception to come out with this plan to conduct this webinar. Today in this webinar, obviously most of the students will be benefited, where students will learn, like the importance of Japanese language or a foreign language to enhance their career, to boost their career. Then also they will come to know about Japan Foundation. Many of us already know about Japan Foundation, their presence, existence in India. They are doing lots of activities. They have planned program, yearly based program, as well as some of the tour operated program also. So student exchange program also. Hopefully Japan Foundation, their existence and the curriculum, once they will able to know about it, so they will be more helpful. Then student will get the life experience from our mentors who have broad experience staying in Japan, studying in Japan, and working in Japan. Then from our mentor, who the university which has been based in Japan, they will also inform us like how to take the admission, when will be the right session, what will be the courses, how will be the process, and without having any hindrance, how we can help them. Our mentors can help them. Even JESDC platform can help them, because JESDC have a very good vision now to conduct and open the online classes as well as physical classes, and opening our incubation centers in many places. I would obviously utilize this platform to invite the universities and the students, dean, coordinators who is there and will be seeing this video live. If they really want to initiate Japanese language learning in their center, they can come forward to contact us or our platform. Japan Foundation is there, JESDC is there. Collaboratively, we are ready to and willing to work out there. Then future scope option, we have like study in Japan, and the sectors in India like business and trade, tourism, hospitality, all the sectors, they have a vast scope to work, to learn, and to earn from this sector. So everyone can even in through this session, everyone, if any willing students, we have a Q&A session at the end, where they can raise their questions. They can ask live to our mentors. They will put on their like answers and based on their experiences. So first we'll be having topics like based on the agenda, like how learning a foreign language as a career, that will be described and initiated by Dr. Naveen Panda sir. Then regarding Japan Foundation introduction, their work, history and experience, and present and future plan will be explained by our Noguchi-san. And education system in Japan, difference between the education system and how we can adopt, how we can learn, or methodology, what are the things can be changed or adopt. That will be explained by our very experienced Dr. Gupta sir. And our Priyanka son will introduce the copywriting techniques and how we can use copywriting techniques in our so she will use obviously her university as well, so that our students can get the details information from her. So here, without delaying much, I would like to invite our senior most Dr. Naveen Panda sir to come out with his view, opinion, as well as points for our students, viewers, and listeners. Thank you, sir.
Uh,
Over to you, Panda sir.
excuse me, Surajit-san.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think we are having some technical issues. My friends and colleagues, they are saying they cannot see the seminar. So I don't think now everyone is being able to watch. So can you please have a look? Like everyone is,
Yes, sir. Noguchi-san,
yeah,
yeah, I would like to send one in our chat box. I would like to send one video link.
yeah.
So you can copy and paste it for others so that they can again
Okay, okay.
come and join through this link. You can share this link.
Yeah.
Kindly check in the chat box.
Oh, okay. They have to join this link.
Through this link, they can join, and another link I'm going to forward. So these two links are available through.
Okay, thank you.
Why don't you show the link in the screen only?
Yes, in Rahul san, if possible, or Priyanka san can in chat box. I have sent the link. Hopefully, you can copy and paste it easily.
Oh, okay. Now with this link, I think people are being able to enter.
So is it okay now?
Yes, I think now everyone joining. So we should start maybe from the beginning.
Okay, no problem.
Surjit san, please continue.
Yes, sir. Fine, Rahul-san, thank you. So, due to the technical issues and mostly our viewers, like who have joined recently, even I got 2, 3 calls. I have texted them the same link, and the link is available in our website also. Rahul-san, also we can directly you can
I'm trying.
paste
I'm
that
trying.
link in our JESDC website, or
Sure.
I'm sorry, our Facebook page also.
Sure.
So in the meanwhile, for the joiners who have joined us lately, today this webinar is all about regarding learning a foreign language, career opportunities in India as well as in Japan. There is a vast scope in hospitality, trade, for students, for tourism in different sectors. Japan and India have shared their long-term relationship since the India got independence since 1962, if I'm not wrong. And we have in this present governance also, we have Indian governments have signed many MOUs with Japan. So Japan has opened their door to work in Japan, study in Japan, and with many opportunities. With that fact, today we have come out with this initiative from JESDC, from Seva Foundation, to conduct this webinar to let our students know what will be the possibilities, how to study, how to live in Japan, how will be the work experience in Japan, and the existence of Japan Foundation in India, their activity, their plan, their programs, and the upcoming plans through which our students and individual can be benefited, because Japan Foundation has cultural programs which they used to conduct yearly in every, I can say, mostly in the metro regions or the required regions. Then we also have our mentors. I think for the late joiners, I must repeat once again, Dr. Naveen Panda sir, who have a vast experience in this language and who himself is a professor. At present, he is also pursuing his like career as a professor in Delhi University. We have Dr. Gupta sir, who is a professor in IIT Delhi. And we have Priyanka San, who is the coordinator and director for Richumekan University. And we have Naguchi San, who is the director of Japan Foundation. So the founder of Seva Foundation, the vice president, is Rahul Mishra San. So without delaying much, I think we should start with our session. We would like to request our Naveen Panda sir to take the initiative to come out with the first topic, which is regarding the learning foreign language as a career and how smoothly they can learn. So over to you, Panda sir. Panda sir can unmute, or Rahul sir can unmute so that Panda sir can come. Over to you.
I hope it is now audible.
Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Actually, there was some technical problem. Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I must congratulate Japan Education and Skill Development Center, Japan Foundation, Richmond University, and also the Vice President of the Center, Mr. Rahul Misra, and the Master of the Ceremony today, Mr. Surajit Kalita, for giving me this opportunity to come and present my viewpoints in front of everybody. Well, I have been asked to discuss on a very vibrant, current, and great topic that is called learning a foreign language as a career and smooth learning methodology. Both these things are very, very important, and we are going to discuss it during this COVID crisis. It is a crisis, but it is also an opportunity, because I take this opportunity because I am able to meet and talk to so many people. I have students in my university, but I have never talked to other people. So this is an opportunity. And with through this platform, I will like to speak to everybody, and I will share with you the thoughts that whatever little thought that I had with each and everybody. I will like to start my talk discussion I will divide it into 4 parts. The importance of a foreign language, number 1. Number 2 is mutual dependence of India and Japan. Number 3, the present day Japanese language education in our country, India. And then the last, I will also find out if there are some shortcomings in the implementation of our Japanese language education in India, and what will be the possible remedies. These are the 4 things that I want to touch upon. Let us start with the first point, that is importance of foreign language. Foreign language, that is the topic. However, I will focus completely on Japanese language, that is my field of study. And whatever I speak about Japanese language also holds true for other languages. So, when we speak about a foreign language, the first thing that comes to my mind is that it is totally different from the, the special subjects that we study these days. The minute specialties, we have to do, say, we cannot become a specialist in 2 things simultaneously in the present day world. Say, for example, you cannot become an astronaut and as well as an accountant or accountants, the expert in accountancy. But that doesn't apply to language, because language is such a thing which, while studying a particular subject, you play tennis. While studying a particular subject, you watch television. While studying a particular subject, you also study a language. Language doesn't require, it is not a specialty. It is a hobby. We can develop it as a hobby. So this holds true for all the languages, and for that matter, it is also applicable to Japanese language. Furthermore, the beauty of learning the language is that it can be learned at any point of time, at any age. Whether you are an old person, whether you are in the middle, in your mid-career, or even when you are a child. However, the researchers have of late told that and established that language should be taught from the very tender age, from an age where the students are in the school level, and the optimum time is given 13 years. If you study the language before 13, before you become 13, then it the learning process becomes faster. So, with these things in mind, the whole world, the experts, the policymakers, educationists, etc., they are teaching and introducing the languages in their educational institutions. And primarily, I will emphasize the elementary or the elementary education. Well, keeping this point at this stage, let me come to the second point, that is the mutual dependence between India and Japan. Because of constraint of time, I will not go into detail, but one thing we must point out that is Japan is already an aging society. And if we take a current statistics from World Bank, it is said that about 33%, more than 33% of Japanese people, they are above the age of 60. Another 26% are above the age of 65, and another 12.5% of the total people, they are in the age group of 75 or more. So we can understand how the Japanese population is graying or aging. Coupled with this problem, there is another problem, the low fertility rate in Japan. People don't want to marry because of the social security, or they marry little late, and that is why the population doesn't grow. So, because of these two very important problems in the Japanese society, Japan, the political economy of Japan also is facing a very great challenge, and that challenge is nothing but the shortage of workforce. Shortage of workforce, which is related to skilled laborers as well as unskilled laborers. So they are dependent on the other societies. Now, in relation to this, let us come to India. India, unlike Japan, has a very vibrant young youth population, young population who have vigor, who can work, and moreover, these days, because of the increase in the literacy, we are also increasing a lot of our young population. They are also studying and they are become skilled. Now, in this thing, if we, but at this stage, actually the government of India or the government of Japan, they have thought about mutual help. Japan is looking forward to India. We are also looking forward to Japan. We want to develop our economy. We want to learn and get new technology. And because of all these things, we are dependent on the other countries, developed countries. But of late, since 1990s, we have started the Look East policy, which has now been elevated to Act East policy, which means we should concentrate on Japan and our other eastern neighbors. At this point of time, one thing that comes to mind, if you become an expert in a particular field, you are a technocrat, you are an engineer, etc., etc. But along with that, if we have a knowledge of the language, then that helps us to a great extent. Actually, amongst all the people, it is the Japanese people, they feel at home when you speak to them in their own language. That happens with us also. So, in India, India is a multilinguistic country. Even a person who hasn't gone to the school can speak 2 languages. So, one more language, if it can be introduced, whether it is in the school or in different educational systems, even in the private institutions. The private institutions also play a very important role in spreading the language. So if it can be introduced, it will benefit our population. How will it benefit? As we said that, they will not only contribute to the economic development of India, to the social problems of Japan, but also we can, have a very we can develop a very good cordial relationship because we can study the hearts. This is the main reason why Japanese language was also introduced in Indian educational institutions. If we go to the history, in the 1960s, it was introduced in the universities, higher educational institutions, universities and colleges. But at the turn of this century, there was a demand that no, it should also be taught in the school level. The spread should be vertical, not only horizontal. It should be vertical, so that even the children attending the school, they also get an opportunity to study Japanese. That is why in 2005, under Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, a memorandum was signed between the two governments of Japan and India to introduce Japanese language in the CBSE. CBSE is, stands for Central Board of Secondary Education. What is the benefit? The benefit is that a child who is studying humanities, a child who is studying science, who is an engineer in the MEC, who is a scientist in the MEC, at that time, if that child also comes across the language, then in future they will not only think of going to the English speaking countries, but even to Japan, where Japanese is the language. With that thing in mind, it was introduced in CBSE, and it has been it is being taught since 2006 from Standard 6, and many of our students they are taking the language courses in the 10th and 12th standard. Well, now let us come to the third point. What is methodology? We speak about teaching the language, and teaching the language means we have to teach, because we did not have a long plan. It has not been in implementation for a very long time. That is why we are in a very starting position. So what should be done so that in a very short time, many people can study the language? That is called teaching methodology. The pedagogy that is to be used in teaching, introducing the language should be more and much faster and easy, so that everybody can learn it easily. With that in mind, when the language was introduced in CBSE in 2005, a group of Indian teachers, of course, with the help of Japanese experts, they have published 3 sets of books, which we call Ume, Momo, and Sakura, for students at a very tender age, from 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, and when the students come to the 9th standard, then because no other books have yet been published in India, we are importing the books from Japan for their study. Now, what is this Ume, Momo, and Sakura? They are books which have been written, developed by the Indian teachers, Indian experts, who have got training for last 50 years. And it is these people who, by taking into consideration the Indian condition, Indian situation, the psyche of Indian children in mind, they have published these 3 books. So, which means we have also already developed to such an extent where our experts can also write Japanese language textbooks for our children. Now, coming to the higher education or the private institution, as I said, private institution also play an extremely important role in spreading the Japanese language. And there, of course, because it is being taught in different universities, different institutions, these teachers are also getting trained, and they spread to the private institutions. One of them, of course, Mr. Noguchi will tell you how the Japan Foundation is implementing or holding the training sessions for last 2-3 years, and how many people have already been trained in teaching Japanese language. That will come in his speech, so I will not dwell with that. But when we speak about the Japanese language education in its brain, there is one thing we spoke about very good things about Japanese language, but please also let us understand there are many shortcomings. 2 shortcomings, because of lack of time, I have to finish it. 2 shortcomings I want to point out. Number 1, the number of learners of Japanese language is not increasing at all at the pace that we expected. If you go to Australia, they have 3 million people have studied. In China, more than 3. In Korea, a small country in comparison to Japan, India, they have more than 3 million people who have studied Japanese. But in case of India, if you go to the statistics, I don't have the current statistics, but last year's statistics, it's only 30,000 people. We had the certain limit of teaching at least 1 million people in 2005 or 2006, but we have not yet been able to reach that particular goal. So why? We have to find out that particular reason as to why people are not interested in studying the language. Apparently, the one thing is that we, because of the British legacy, the colonial legacy, we know English, and we think that if we know English, then there is no necessity for any other language. But we fail to understand. Through this, I want to tell the parents of the children or the students who are sitting here, and that if you know another additional language besides English, that will help you. So it can be Japanese, it can be any other language, but Japanese, because we are having a very good relationship, and our relationship with Japan is getting strengthened again and year over year. That is why if we learn language, it will definitely earn us very good career. The second point, the second shortcoming, on the one hand, as we said, our policymakers want that Japanese language should be spread throughout the country. But on the one hand, we want to increase the number. On the other hand, if you allow me to speak about the JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test, we have introduced a capping in capping means when a particular number of students have already applied for the examination, then it will be kept. So you cannot say 10,000. If the 10,000 and the first person will not be able to register for the examination. It is on the one hand we want to spread it. On the other hand, we want to cap them. This is a very major problem in India. I have already spoken about it. I have raised my voice, and today also once again, I am of the firm opinion that the capping system on JLPT should be reviewed and revisited. It should be re-looked into. We don't have much time, so I will stop it here. If you have any question regarding the pedagogy, etc., I will be happy to answer after the other discussions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Panda sir. We are really fortunate to get the exact scenario and the classification, the way you have divided the points regarding Japanese language, regarding India-Japan Mutual Initiative, and the opportunities. So here, for our next topic, I would like to request the director of Japan Foundation, Noguchi-san, to come out with his view and presentation for our listeners and viewers. Thank you. Over to you, Noguchi-san.
Okay, thank you, Surajit-san, and good morning, everyone. My name is Kosuke Noguchi from Japan Foundation, New Delhi. So today I'm going to talk about some of the activities Japan Foundation is doing and some potentials for learning the language. So let me start my presentation. Let me check. Okay, so this is my presentation. I hope everyone can see this. If you have problem, please let me know. So
Yeah, it is visible, sir.
okay, so why learning Japanese language? Overview and potential for learning the language. Today's my goal is to give quick overview of Japan Foundation and its activities related to Japanese language, and to explain some potentials of learning the language. And then I will introduce you some upcoming events of Japan Foundation in this COVID-19 situation, and message for students. So these are the 4 messages I want to convey in this presentation. Okay, anyway, let's ice break. Let's say a few words in Japanese for those of you who have never learned Japanese. In this situation, in Japanese, we say konnichiwa. This means hello. In this situation, when you say goodbye, you say sayonara, which means goodbye. In this situation, when you get some gift from someone, you say arigato, which is thank you. So these are the 3 words. Let's see if you can say. In this situation, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
Yes. In this situation,
Sayonara.
sayonara. And in this situation,
Arigato.
arigato. Yes, good job. So this is some ice breaking for Japanese language. So let me go through my presentation. First, to give quick overview of Japan Foundation and its activities. Japan Foundation is founded in 1972, and we are part of Japanese government. We promote Japanese culture, studies, and the language. These are the 3 main activities we do. And Japan Foundation New Delhi was established in 1994, and now we have office in Rajpat Nagar, and we have 25 centers across the globe. And this is the picture of our center. And I am proud to introduce our library. We have so many Japanese books with manga and magazines also. So if you are coming to New Delhi, please stop by at our library. Also, in the gallery, we have an exhibition place, so we can exhibit some of the arts and culture program. It's also open to public, so you are welcome to join. Okay, so let me go through some of the Japan Foundation's activities. First, Japanese arts and culture. As I said, we have this exhibition room, so we can do exhibition like this one, shoujo manga, which means girls manga. We had an exhibition just before the lockdown. Also, we have some performance. Last year, we invited artists from Okinawa, which is southern part of Japan, and we had an event in Delhi and Gurgaon. Also, I think many of you know we are conducting Japanese Film Festival across India, and this is one of the most famous films called Weathering with You, which we screen. So these are the activities of arts and culture. And Japanese studies and intellectual exchange. Here we have conference, seminar, and we support institution with grant, and we give fellowship to young researchers. So this is the picture of the conference we organized last year. Also, this is the grant visiting professorship. He is the professor from Japan. And we went to JNU to give students lessons. Okay, now let me move to Japanese language, which is the main focus. Our focus of Japanese language programs are 1, teacher training. So we train Japanese language teachers. And we support institutions which have Japanese language class. And we try to introduce new methodology of learning and teaching the language. So why we do this? It is to create and enhance better Japanese language education environments in order to give more people in India and in South Asia opportunities to study Japanese. That's our main purpose. Let me go through some examples. For teacher training course, we have this 360-hour course in Delhi with support of with Government of India and Government of Japan. And this is the picture of the training. She's being trained. These are the teachers. So like this, we train Japanese language teachers, Indian Japanese language teachers. Also support for institutions. We have supported government polytechnic in Haryana, 3 of them, and this is the picture of Manesar Government Polytechnic. They are now learning Japanese, which is great, I think. Also, we have recently supported to initiate Japanese language course in Goa University. So he's our Japanese language teacher and the students. It's also good to have a Japanese language course in different parts of India. And introducing new methodologies. Example is this textbook. We have developed this textbook called Marugoto, and it focuses on communication rather than grammar and vocabulary. Also, as a new methodology, we are introducing group reading contest to school students. You know, in school, they just sit and take notes. That's a traditional way of learning. But in this Gundok contest, students are participating in Japanese, some of the activities. This is their group reading. So they are, working as a team to participate in this contest using Japanese, which is new methodology of learning the language. Okay, now I'd like to move on to explain some of the potential of learning the language. So why should we learn Japanese? Let me go right into the answer, my answers. One, it gives you a unique yet positive flavor to your life. In any language, I think. And learning language is learning culture. If you know the language, you can understand different way of life, way of thinking. And also, it might help you with your career. Let me show some example of this last part. Any guess how many Japanese companies in India? Actually, there are so many.
Yeah, close to 1500, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, good guess. Yes. Actually, there are 1,441 companies. And these companies, in total, they have 5,102 bases in India, which is a lot. If you compare with Germany, they have 1,700 companies. In France, about 1,000. So you can see how much these opportunities are there, even within this country. But I want to tell you, speak Japanese does not mean jobs and money. I don't like this simple equation, simple formula. But I always tell like this. If you have your skill with your Japanese, it means huge potential for your life. Here are some examples. If you have some IT skill, engineers, business, hospitality, and you're Japanese, you are better off. Example is this National High-Speed Rail Corporation. They are, of course, engineers. They are building high-speed rail from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. But they didn't have Japanese language. Every day, many Japanese engineers are coming to their company to help them build the Japanese high-speed rail, but they couldn't communicate. So Japan Foundation supported their Japanese language course. And now, if you look at this picture, they are learning in Japanese language. Now they are even writing kanji for the activities. So now they are engineers, but with Japanese skill, which is, I think, very good. So again, Japanese and your skill is very good for your life, I am thinking. Okay, now let me move on to upcoming events of Japan Foundation in this COVID-19. As you know, this is very difficult time, I think, for you and even for Japan Foundation, but we are coming up with some of the online events which I will show you. For example, this one is online production art and culture project called Within, which will have a live streaming on this Sunday, I think. Please check our website. So it's online collaborative project. Also, we have online film screening. Everyone can see this Asian Threefold Mirror 2016 Reflections. It's a long title, but now it's available on Japan Foundation website. For Japanese language, we have come up with new textbook called Irodori. And we are conducting online Japanese language workshop to be able to, for teachers, to be able to teach this Irodori textbook. We are doing this online. Also for students, we are planning to do this Japanese Business Pitch Contest 2020 for all Japanese learners in India. So this is some activities students can join. And of course, we have this online self-learning site called Minato. At home, you can go to this site and learn Japanese online. Okay, lastly, let me tell you my message for students. Now with COVID-19, everything looks very difficult and stopped, but I'm sure it will be over. India will overcome, and then more chances will be there again. As Dr. Panda said, Japan-India relation is very good. I'm sure opportunity will come back. So now it's best time for you to do a self-learning and also think about your future, what to do. Let's explore new possibility. Good luck. Okay, this is end of my presentation. I went very quickly, so if you have any questions, please do let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noguchi-san. We are really glad and we'd like to appreciate the way you have presented all the current information regarding the COVID situation as well as regarding the upcoming plan, online contest and program for students and the great initiative which is not only students,
Yes, thank you.
the teachers and the willing person can come forward. They can try to enroll themselves for the teachers training program to join with us to promote Japanese language in their locality, in the assigned places. Even from JESDC also we have our mind mapping through which we have identified the regions where we are going to open our incubation center. So through teachers training program, I think we can able to provide the placement as well. So that through this, obviously, our new schools, universities, college can come forward for any further help they required. And certification course will be obviously organized by Japan Foundation. So thanks, Sam. Here now, I would like to request our Professor Gupta sir to give more information regarding the education system in Japan, and most of the topics I think already covered. But however, Gupta sir has other points because he have a vast experience as well. So over to you, Gupta sir. Yeah, Gupta sir can unmute.
Yes, I have unmuted.
Yes, sir. Over to you.
But my video. Yes.
Yes, sir. You are online.
Good afternoon. Yes. Let me introduce myself. I'm a graduate of IIT Madras, and I was lucky that I chose to go to Japan in 1991, and I stayed there for 12 years. And I'm also quite lucky that very often I'm invited to such lectures because of this good experience that I have. 12 years is quite long. I did my master's and PhD in Japan. To tell you very frankly, I didn't know a single word of Japanese before I went there. Within a month, I learned Japanese. I could speak, though writing and reading was not my cup of tea, but I can speak Japanese very, very fluently. So those are two different things, whether we require to read and write or not. About the grammar, the Japanese language is very, very similar to Indian language. The phonetics, the speaking style is also very, very similar. For Indians, it is said we can speak, we can learn to speak very, very easily. One more thing that I loved in Japan is that most of the Japanese culture are actually Indian culture. The original Gurukul culture, which we don't have now, exists in Japan. There is a concept called hoikuen, where children will clean the floors. The floors are actually clean, but they do it as an exercise. So we have a lot of things to learn from Japan, and we can adapt these things. I really want people to go there as an exchange program and try to live there and see Japan. So if you have opportunities to take part in exchange program from your schools, and if I think Japanese government is also creating such facilities, you should take such facilities to visit Japan and see Japan on your own. Coming to food, obviously being a Bengali and fish eater and rice eater, it was paradise for me. I just love the food there. Okonomiyaki, sushi, takoyaki, all these foods are lovely. Japanese people love food, and I learned that vegetables should be eaten in a way that you enjoy the taste of the vegetable. Coming to education system, Japan is a country that respects engineers, researchers, even cultural side. Like for example, they have a very, very strong relationship with Pune University for a long time. So that's a country where you get respected for doing the things, unlike our country where most of the salary is taken away by the MBAs. So that's a country where MBA gets the least preference, and engineers and doctors and entrepreneurs and even cultural people get benefits out of it. You can even do a part-time job and earn a lot of money there. It's not so difficult. Coming to opportunities there, obviously, if you know a little bit learning, if you can speak Japanese, the Japanese people will be very, very happy to interact with you. There were people in Japan who came to India. They visited me because coming to my room, they can speak Japanese and feel at home. Do you know that there is a person called Justice Pal who is very, very famous because he helped Japan in post-World War. In India, we rarely know him. Unfortunately, after independence, despite the fact that Justice Pal helped Japan, for a lot of years, Japan was not so close to India. When I went, there were more Pakistani, Bangladesh, every other country, but very less Indians. Possibly because of our culture that we don't go there. But I think if we go there, you will love the way I love Japan. I have written a book, You Must Be Kidding, and there is a YouTube channel called Shupratik Trust, where I have told that facilities like Hoikuen, which is an education system starting from 0 year, can be replicated for the world benefit and for emancipation of women. And the business opportunities can be enormous. The main thing there, the teachers have to pass a very, very strong curriculum to become a teacher there. In fact, our brain needs most intelligent people from 0 to 3. That is what Japan realized. And they created the system Hoikuen. And we don't have this. And in our country, it is the ayahs that take care of our children. So I would request all of you that whenever you get a chance, please go for an exchange program. Learn Japanese, because as you Noguchi-san have already said, that you can learn Japanese by yourself also. Sugoi kantan desu. You can speak Japanese very easily. So I request all of you to visit Japan, and I am very much interested to see the Japanese films which are being broadcasted by Noguchi-san's foundation and other places. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta sir, who have really nicely explained his living experience out there, as well as current scenario regarding his book, Just Kidding, and regarding his YouTube channel, through which I think our viewer, listeners, as well as our audience will get a lot of help through the channel. And even I would like to request our audience also, if they have any question, they can write to us in our Facebook page or through our web page or through our mail ID, which has already been shared. And if you have any clarification doubts after this webinar also, we can connect you through the regarding answers from our mentors. So regarding the Hoikuen and foreign exchange program, which has been yearly scheduled by the Japan government, as well as Japan Foundation is also floating the information. Obviously, this student exchange program will create a really vast opportunity for the existing our school, college, universities. And the similarities, obviously, I must agree, and everybody who is already enrolled or learning or willing to learn, and they knows that there is a huge similarities between the Indian culture as well as with the Japanese culture, because the Buddhism, the root of Buddhism starts from India in ancient times, where they practice Buddhism with other communities. So I think the similarities of culture and staying in Japan, it is really smooth will be for the Indians. So with this fact, I would like to thanks once again to our Gupta sir.
One more
Please,
minute.
sir, you can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can. Over
For
to you.
everyone, I just like to say one small thing. You know, before eating, Japanese people say "itadakimasu." It means I receive it, and that is the most beautiful reflection of Buddhism, because you don't say whom you receive it from. Is it from God? Is it from the cultivator? Is it from the cook? Who? But then before every food, they say itadakimasu. And there is a word called seva. The applications of the seva word is exactly like Indian word. So most of the culture of Japan is actually Indian culture. If you go there, and if we can implement that back, actually the Buddhism can come back to India from Japan. And I think we got some people asking about my channel. Just go to YouTube. There is something called Shupratik Trust. There are almost 40 to 50 videos. There are various business concepts, and I am really looking forward to incubators who can implement these concepts. Concepts like sports portal, education portal, Hoikuen. There are various concepts that I've explained in my YouTube channel. So please go to my YouTube channel, Shupratik Trust. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gupta sir. So yeah, we know, I think the Indians, we always through our Vedic education also we have learned that itadakimasu, thankful to the Almighty for having this opportunity to have something. I think indirectly it is related to the same. So arigato gozaimasu, Gupta san. Now
Once you
for
say
the
to Almighty, once you say to Almighty, it is no more Buddhism.
okay.
Because to remain silent is Buddhism. So
Thank
itadakimasu,
you.
even in the heart of Japanese people, there is no God. It is
All right.
possibly God, but it is a silent prayer. Once you say God, it is no more Buddhism. It's no more Japanese.
All right. Thank you so much for the clarification. And I think I have also cleared with your view. That's a fact, perhaps. So here for our next mentor, I would like to request Priyanka-san to come forward with her information for our viewers and audience. And because it will be very useful for the new students and the universities or the schools who is tuning right away us, because the future scope in Japan and the study in Japan. So I think Priyanka-san will be the right person to highlight the major points regarding study in Japan and opportunities in Japan through the university. Over to you, Priyanka-san.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. So I understand, so many of I can see, I got a request from some schools also. So some teachers, some students, and of course we have college students. So there's a mix participants. So to just give us an introduction about me, I've been working for Ritsumikan India office for last 10 years. And so, in the starting, we were funded by Japanese government to set up an office in India and to help Indian students go to Japan. So apart from Ritsumikan, we also have many other Japanese universities, though they don't have office in India, but they have courses available in English. So any of you who would also like to know the link, they can email it to us and we can send it to them for other universities as well. So for today, I will be talking about my university, that is Ritsumikan University. So I will be showing the PPT. Can everyone see the PPT? Is the PPT, can you see the PPT?
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do it again. Okay. Sure. And yes, so now we'll be able to see. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it is visible, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So this is R, and the R in Japan is very famous by the name of Ritsumikan University. And Ritsumikan Academy is a very old academy. And if I talk about Ritsumikan University, it's more than 120 years old. So we have 2 universities, 4 high school, 4 junior high school, and 1 elementary school. And so we have graduate, undergraduate colleges as well. So it was founded in 1900. We have 16 undergraduate colleges and 22 graduate schools. So it includes the English and the Japanese programs both. So we are part of a top global university, Japan. We have 4 campuses, about 36,000 students, and 1 lakh applicants every year. So we have 4 campuses. One is located in, you can see Shiga. The second is located in Kyoto. That's the oldest campus. And in Kyoto, we also, so there are 2 campuses in Kyoto, Kinogasa and Suzaku campus. And the 4th we have in Osaka. That's called as Osaka Ibaraki. So when I talk about all the location of the campus, so Kyoto has been very famous in terms of tourists and in terms of students. So the 10% of the population of Kyoto is students. So it's a very, very friendly city because they have so many tourists from all over the world who come to see the World Heritage sites. So where the university is located, we have heritage sites in about 10 kilometers. And it's very nice when we are in Kyoto, they do not have big buildings. So there is a restriction. So you see the older form of houses in Kyoto, and you see so many people who are using bicycle. And they've been, you see the city that has still retained the, the older part of Japan. And Osaka is like the main city. It's very, very near to Kyoto. And sorry, it is very near to Kyoto. And all the 3 campuses are connected by train and by, so it's a very, very easy way to, visit all the 3 campuses. So Osaka has lots of job opportunities. And Shiga is again very beautiful, campus that we have. So in terms of the safety, Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe is ranked number 1 in terms of safety. And as I mentioned that we've been part of a top global university project from starting from Global 30 project from 2009 to 2013, when the office was set up in India. And now we are part of a top global university project with 2014 till 2023. And the purpose of the project is to help students, international students, to go to Japan with scholarship, from the university and Japanese government. So these are the number of foreign students we have in Japan. And we have been ranked #1 in terms of the research funding. That's about 1.3 billion yen has been invested. So these are about 450 clubs and circles that the students can join. So lots of opportunities. And then we have a career center within the university for the support. So working in Japan, we have seminar every, monthly or depending upon the timings. So it's one of the example. So we have undergraduate programs and postgraduate and masters as well. So these are some of the example mentioned: international relation, information science and engineering, policy science, and global liberal arts. So our global liberal arts have a dual degree with Australian National University. So these are the 4 undergraduate program. In terms of masters and PhD, we have international relation, economics, science and engineering, information science and engineering, life sciences, policy science, and global studies. So we have collaboration with lots of Indian universities and from all over the world. So in terms of undergraduate, we have 100% and 50% and 20%. But for postgraduate, we have 100% and a 20% reduction available for all international students. In terms of COVID-19, the university is working, is giving emergency support package to all international students, and especially for the students whose family income has been affected. So yes, this is how they're supporting the students. So this is my email ID and the website. So if you want to note it down. And apart from that, I will be showing a small video of our sister university where a person has been talking about his journey in Japan. So it's just an example for you to understand. So I will just go to the video now. One second. Can you see the video? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'll start again because I didn't got the reply. So, can someone mute me if possible?
こんにちは、DT アブドーライと申します。アフリカの西にあるマリ共和国という国から来ました。2001年に APU に入学して、2005年に卒業をした後に、日産自動車に入社しました。今も、日産自動車で、生産管理の仕事をさせていただいております。毎回 APU に来るたび、自分のふるさとに戻ってくるような感じなので、いつもワクワクしながら、来ています。My first discovery of Japan was during my high school. I discovered that Japan was the second largest economy in the world, and I was very amazed. And then when I started looking around me, I found out that almost all the electronic goods or the cars, the bikes are from Japan. So from that time, I started loving the country, and I really wanted to come to Japan for the studies. All the single moments that I passed in APU, I enjoyed them. The study of Japanese was very tough, very, very tough. But when I was able to communicate in Japanese, it was a joy for me. Most of us, international students, we all face one dilemma at a stage of our studies at APU. Am I going to go back to my country or should I work in Japan? In my case, I thought that the most practical way of learning about the Japanese business manner, it is to do it inside the company. Then I started the job hunting. It was tough. You fail a lot. I think I've done more than 100 entries. And finally, I got around 3 companies that accept to hire me. And in my understanding, the most important thing that those companies will require from us as international students is to know what we are going to do for them. In the beginning, I was dispatched as SCM planning department of Nissan at the headquarters. So at that time, our job was to build some logistics centers. Most of our car parts were purchased inside Japan from Japan suppliers. But the company changed of strategy and decided to purchase the part from all over the world. So in order to bring those parts to different plants with the cheapest logistic cost, we decided to create some logistics centers in many countries. Then after that, I moved to the plant. I've been sent to the plant which make the famous Nissan Leaf. It's our electric car. So I was sent there as a production planning team member. Then after that, we have been sent to India as an expat. So Renault and Nissan created one plant together. It was a new plant, and I was sent there to support the launch of that plant. During those 2 years that I spent in India, I think I learned a lot. I grew, and then my colleagues also, they learned a lot, which was very good for me. Then after these 2 years, I came back to Japan. I've been sent to the global headquarters again. And then for 4 years, I've been working on global capacity management. My view of the world has been broadened. When I came to APU, I found that there are so many pupils coming from different places. And even though they are different from me, they have good hearts. I start to realize it is not about where you come from. The most important thing is how that person reacts as a human being. It was very easy for me to interact with people which are Japanese or people coming from other countries because Nissan is a global company. When I was a student, I was really very busy. I was doing too many activities, and it gave me so many energies. When I start working in a company, even though there are so many activities that I do, I never get tired. I never give up. The most important thing is to decide what you want to do. It seems easy questions, but I think it's the most difficult questions. Most of the time, we are able to answer that question. We are able to find out what we want to do. But then will come the next question, how to achieve that? So that is where most of us will stop. Please define the step or the activity or the milestone that you will put in place in order to achieve that goal. Then, finally, when you decide that you want to work in Japan, then it is mandatory that you speak Japanese language. Because work, in any case, is about communication between human beings. And as long as you are in Japan here, even if the company is a global company, the people that are working mostly will be Japanese. And you need to speak to them. I was very surprised today because I got a question from a student who said that he heard that in a company in Japan, foreigners don't get promotion. It's very difficult for foreigners to get promotion. That's not true. As far as people are different, but I'm talking based on my own experience. It's not true. If you work and you show the results, of course, you will get the promotions. So if someone has a different proof that he has worked, he has showed the results in a Japanese company, but they didn't give him a promotion, I really would love to listen to that story.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, we would like to thank Priyanka-san, who have shared her information and through this video, as well as the information regarding the Richumekan University. I must say Japan or this university could be a global door for the opportunities, because the students who really wish to pursue their further studies in Japan, perhaps this university could be a good opportunity for them, good option for them. And the companies, Noguchi-san has also mentioned, we have more than 1,500 companies approx in India, as well as globally lots of companies are there who really hire every year and give promotions. It's really nice information, Priyanka-san, and she have already shared the mail ID and the website links. And for viewers and our audience and the participants, I would like to apologize because of the technical issues. But the good news is the video is getting recorded and will be shared in the different pages. It will be available in YouTube. It will be available in our JESDC Facebook page. It will be available in our website as well. And hopefully Japan Foundation in page also, the live video recorded streaming will be provided. So the unfortunately who have not able to join us or who have joined us lately, they can stream this video once again for the all the information, relevant information related to career opportunities, present opportunities in Japan as well as in India. So here I would like to request all the panelists, our Dr. Naveen Panda sir, Noguchi-san, Professor Gupta sir, Priyanka-san, everyone, if if every panelist have any questions, any suggestions further, you can come forward and give us for our listeners and viewers, and thereafter we'll be having our conclusion session. Thank you. Over to all of us, because this will be a Q&A session. If any participator or viewer would like to ask any question, they can leave comment in the chat box, and if possible they can come forward to ask their question if there is a possibilities. And if they have any further questions also, they can mail us. The mail ID has already been given in our chat box, which is I would just like to repeat it. It is the mail ID for the further question. It is okay, JESDC, that is Japanese Education Skill Development Center, jesdc.delhi@gmail.com. So jesdc.delhi@gmail.com for further inquiry for related to Japan Foundation, Richumekan University, further any opportunities in Japan, in India regarding opening incubation center or skill learning center, language learning center in your university or locality. You can reach us for further communication. So over to all of the panelists. If you have any suggestions, further any details to share, you can come forward to share it. Thank you.
Surajit-san, can I speak a few words?
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir. This is an open session, sir.
Thank you so much. In fact, during my talk, I said that there is a similarities between the Indian languages and Japanese language. Professor Gupta has also mentioned it. I just want to add one more point to that. Japanese language, because of the writing system kanji, which again is not difficult, it poses a lot of problems to people who do not belong to the kanji countries, kanji area. But let me tell you, from my experience, I have studied Japanese for 35 years now. And from my experience, I will say, if I take that grammatical terminology, as far as the syntax is concerned, there is a similarity between Japanese and all the Indian languages, particularly Tamil language. Meaning thereby, if you know the word for a particular Japanese word in or in your mother tongue, and the meaning in Japanese, then it will not be at all difficult for you to frame a complete sentence. You don't require anybody's assistance, not even a tutor. So you need to know the meaning of a particular word in Japanese. As far as the syntax are concerned, say for example, Hindi, if you take मैं चावल खाता हूँ, in Japanese also they say मैं चावल खाता हूँ. It is not like English, मैं खाता हूँ चावल, मैं चावल खाता हूँ. So if you know मैं, if you know चावल, if you know खाता हूँ, then you can make a sentence in Japanese on your own. This is the secret of Japanese, studying Japanese. If you know this secret, in very few days' time, you can have a mastery of Japanese language. Now, regarding the kanji, I know this gentleman from Jamaica was also telling the writing is, poses a problem for our Indian students because we do not belong to the kanji community. But let me tell you, it is not actually at all difficult. Kanji is difficult, but it is interesting. It is so interesting that it will, once you start learning kanji, it will absorb you and you will be entangled in learning kanji for the whole, till you learn all the 2000 and odd kanjis which are being used in Japanese language. So, my dear students, if you have not started studying the Japanese language, please come forward. It is not difficult. Thank you. I just wanted to tell that. Thank you, Saraji.
Hello, sir. With your
Thank you.
kind permission,
Thank you,
may I
Panda sir.
speak?
Yes.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have same point as Naveen Kumar sir just now said, like limited seats for the JLPT. I just wanted to express my opinion, if may I. We have the thing that JLPT is conducted only twice a year, and that too now we have limited seats. So it is something I think authorities should look into, because many students do not get to apply for it, and they lose the chance, and they again have to wait for another 6 months. And another point I want to say is we have limited centers in India, and many students like from district levels or like from remote regions, they're not able to apply for it. So if authorities can do something about it, I just wanted to say that. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Rupali. I think Noguchi-san or Panda sir will be the best person to answer about this.
Yes, I can answer that question. Thank you for bringing up your concern. I understand this is the situation that now more and more students are learning the language, and this capacity was never a problem until a year or 2 years back. But all of a sudden, it has become such a problem because now everyone is learning Japanese. And so we are trying to increase the capacity as much as we can. And also we are starting new centers also. Last year we have started one in South India in Tamil Nadu. So in Tamil Nadu, you can go to 2 centers now. But as your request is there, I will do my best to increase the capacity so that everyone can take the test. Anyway, thank you for bringing up the opinion. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, please introduce yourself and go ahead.
My name is Sagar. I was born in Japan. When I was at home, I still speak Japanese with my parents. But I never got an opportunity, or I never understood the requirement of a proper degree or a certification for Japanese language. But recently, when I am in college right now, many of my teachers have told me, if you are speaking Japanese, you should have a certification and all, so on and so forth. But I am also a part-time working student, so I face a difficulty in visiting some location to have a training. So I'm looking forward for some online courses where I can, like, there are various recorded lectures where I can uh, go on through the lectures, and after maybe once in a month or twice in a month I visit the center and we can interact over there, which is actually a time effective way of learning and doing a certification course. So if it is possible, I am actually looking for such course if available.
Thank you, Sagar, for your question. I hope you are done with your question, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Sagar, I think our Noguchi-san will answer for your question. However, I must say, based off from my knowledge, because regarding online course or technicality issues and giving to certify someone to go ahead for future to enhance their career in teaching Japanese or get into the MNCs. So probably Japan Foundation would like to answer this question, Noguchi-san. But however, Japan Foundation already have their teachers training program, which is weekly or maybe twice in a week. They have a different modules. I would like to request you to search in the Japan Foundation website also. So Noguchi-san, please clarify.
Okay. So you want to learn Japanese online. Actually, there are many private institutions which give online courses, and I'm sure they are going online even more with this COVID-19 situation. So since Japan Foundation, as I introduced in my PPT, we are not directly targeting students. We are not directly teaching students. So please search your nearest Japanese language institutions near your city and ask them if they are doing online course so that you can learn.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can I speak?
Yeah, please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sajid-san. My name is Niru Goyal, and currently I'm teaching Japanese in an institute. My question is to, I think, to Noguchi-san. Noguchi-san, ohayo gozaimasu. My question is regarding JLPT exams, which happen twice a year. Now, the question is the venue. The venue which are chosen for JLPT exams, I wonder, like, especially in July, it is extremely hot, and yeah, in the examination room, you know, there are no ACs working properly, no fans properly working, and you know, the students actually, because they need to focus on the exam, right? So it's very difficult to write an exam while perspiration is going down your face, right? And it's like too hot, and when the listening goes on, then everybody is like, they want even the fans to be off, because even the speakers many times do not work properly, you know. So during the, like, while the listening test is going on, and as you are aware, it can be run only one time. There are no two times, right? So in one time, if it is not audible properly, or if it is echoing, or if there is any technical glitch, it will not be you know, repeated. So students are ready to you know, let perspire themselves and even switch off the fans at that moment in the extreme hotness of July. So I mean, I want to ask, why can't Japan Foundation think on these issues, these problems which are going on for years and years, and students are suffering? Why can't they choose a proper venue where it is like a comfortable room and no technical glitches?
Okay, thank you for your concern. Japan Foundation, we conduct JLPT, but we partner with our local institutions, and they decide venues and the environment. So yes, but I agree that in summer, in July JLPT, I also go there every time, but it's very hot. So I will raise this issue to the local institution and see if they can install AC or other way of solving this problem. So thank you for bringing up your concern.
Hello,
Yeah,
panelists.
thank
Am I
you.
audible?
Thank you, Noguchi-san.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait a moment.
Yeah.
Just wait a moment. So here we have another question for the. I would like to request all the panelists from the available data, so they can come forward one by one. They can give the answer. One at audience they have asked Miss Tanisha. Could you please explain more about the exchange program for schools and colleges and students? Like I know that Japan government, Japan Foundation has lots of information regarding the scheduled program. So I would like to request any one of the or two panelists to come forward to inform us slowly regarding the student exchange name or program. It will be helpful for the audience.
Okay, I guess I have to answer that one too. School exchange program, college exchange program, actually, it is mostly done privately through the partnership between schools in India and schools in Japan. So it's not like a free program where you just apply and you can go have exchange. So if you belong to a school and if you want to build a school exchange program, you have to work on finding a partner school in Japan. There are so many schools in Japan. Which school do you want to have a program with? So to do that, I always tell the schools to first start learning Japanese, because without the language, how do you exchange your views? And it's better to understand the language so that you understand the culture. And if you start learning the language, maybe you get connected with Japan Foundation, and maybe I can introduce some school which we sometimes work with. So please know that the school program is mostly private. Japanese government or Japan Foundation, we are not promoting exchange program itself. Japanese government, they give scholarship, or Japan Foundation, we also give scholarship to students. That is available. It's not exchange program. So if you want to have a school exchange program, first think about starting Japanese language course, then try to find more connections with Japanese schools, which you will find. Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
can I
any other panelists would like to say something regarding this?
So,
So it's
प्रियंका जी अनम्यूट कर लीजिए पहले अपने को.
Please unmute. Please unmute your mic.
I am so sorry. Yes. So, Panda sir, you want to say first? You can. That's no problem. I'm saying.
No. You are the right person.
So, thank you very much, Panda sir. So, we do have exchange. We do have a program where the students go, feel the university, feel the city, and do some cultural activities. We generally conduct that program in September or October. But unfortunately, with this year, because of COVID-19, we're not sure. But you can always like us on Facebook. I will just send you my Facebook link, and you'll be able to see if any information is coming in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So our Panda sir or Gupta sir would like to add any point upon this exchange program which you can remember, or through past experience from the college students or from your end?
I really believe that exchange program is not just to Japan, but within India also, is one of the most important thing for development of a child. And these programs are there everywhere in the world. Unfortunately, we are not cultivating this in India. And it can be a good business opportunity also. So entrepreneurs should come up to create such facilities, and thereby a good business can be created. because we have to link school to school. It's not an easy job. You have to work, the schools have to work hard to portray themselves. Yes, this is the place. And they have to take responsibility. When a Japanese person comes here, it's exchange means Japanese, if 10 people goes there, 10 people will come here. So you must have 10 families here to actually take care of the 10 Japanese kids. So it's not an easy job. It's not just that you going there. You have to make sure that when Japanese kids come, you also have to take care of them as your own child. And if this concept is there in Japan as a homestay, and when I was a student in Japan, I enjoyed the homestay, and I had so many families who became my family members. So this homestay is something that we enjoyed while I was in Japan, and I only brought up this in my lecture also, and I think entrepreneurs can come up to persuade schools to learn Japanese, as well as prepare them and make contacts with Japanese. And all of us, the panel, can help in this regard everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Gupta sir. So here, Gupta sir, I must inform Rahul sir would, I think, will share. We have this plan in our pipeline because in the just before COVID situation, we have signed one MOU also with the European Union. So with Japan, I guess Priyanka san, like you, Gupta san, then our Naveen san, and with the help of Japan Foundation, we can gather the information, and through JESDC platform also, if we can contribute through knowledge and information, we can come out with a program for a common person also. Obviously, it will be a paid program. I'm not talking about directly for business motive, but yes, kind of like true, because Seva Foundation is a non-profit organization. So I think we can plan ahead, and due to every planning is not possible during this seminar, I hope we have end up with this most of the questions. I'll just like to check once again in the chat box if someone has come out with any other question. Nikhil Goel have asked, sir, please possible throw some light on how can a person make career with Japanese language and engineering. So Nikhil Goel, I would like to answer for you on behalf of our panelists. The information has been floated through Panda sirs, through our Noguchi-san. As I said, 1,500 companies are there. There are several sector-based education. Ritsumeikan University itself have many courses in English as well as in Japanese. So based on your technical education or education base, you have to find out in which sector you would like to pursue your career as well as studies. So here, panelists, if you have anything to share, you can. Otherwise, I would like to request Rahul san for ending and giving the conclusion for this webinar. Over to you, Rahul san, and our panelist also.
Thank you, Surajit-san. And thank you so much, Noguchi-san, Supratik Sensei, Panda Sensei, Priyanka-san. So Japan Education and Skill Development Center is brainchild of Seva Foundation. The main vision of Japan JSDC is not only to start a language center, but to establish Japan Incubation Center in various colleges and universities. As we all know that due to aging population of Japan, there is a huge demand of skilled manpower in various sectors such as manufacturing, IT, service industries, and care worker. But due to the language barrier, we missed those opportunities. So at the point of time, we realize how important it is to know any overseas language to overcome such obstacles. So with the projection of building a self-reliance manpower, and with due collaboration approach with Japan Foundation, we were able to execute Japanese language program in various ITI institute. This is the first time in India that such initiative has been executed. Furthermore, JSDC has opened first of its kind incubation center in Guwahati in association with Cotton Alumni Association to cater Northeast region, and soon we will have one premises in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Nagaland as well. JSDC provide internship program to college students not only Japan but also in UK, US, and Europe as well. As most of us have recently heard, Japan government has told many Japanese companies to move to other overseas locations. Where if we see that India is the most prominent destination to establish a business, and for this, Japan government will provide 2 billion USD to the relocating companies. So this can be considered as an opportunity to grab the position, and that can be possible if we can build ourselves as a bilingual resource. With this note, thank you to you all your support. If you still have any query, please drop a mail to jsdc.delhi@gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Much. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Rahul San can end this session.
Yeah, please.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you.